Hello Physical Fiends, it is Jordan here with some interesting news. You may remember that privately to publishers, Nintendo announced smaller capacity cartridges for Nintendo Switch 2, which to me meant that more publishers would jump on board with more physical announcements of Switch 2 games. Obviously, it's still January, nobody's really woken up yet, but one possibility that I didn't really think about was potentially cheaper prices for games already out. And Marvelous have just announced that their Switch 2 games are getting a price cut. Could that be due to cheaper cartridge sizes? Are they switching over to a smaller capacity cartridge in order to bring the price down? Well, if you check the links down below in the description and pinned comment, you'll see all the discounted games there, and I'm just going to go through them. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar has dropped to $50 on Nintendo Switch 2 and $40 on the original Switch, so it's dropped $10 on each console. If you felt like the Story of Seasons franchise, formerly known as Harvest Moon, was getting a bit stale or just blending into one another, Grand Bazaar will be the cure for that. This is a fantastic little farming life sim game that has a great balance in everything that it does. There's lots going on, and it's definitely my second favorite game in the series after A Wonderful Life, which that might just be thanks to GameCube nostalgia. I didn't play the remake. But yeah, if you like cozy games or you know someone who does, this will be a great one to get. The collector's edition doesn't seem to have a discount, sadly. I guess those sheep plushies are just too sacred to lower. And as a reminder, this is a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which means the Switch 2 cartridge will play on your original Switch, which is good if you have the original Switch now but plan on upgrading in the future. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma has also dropped to $50 on Nintendo Switch 2 and $40 on the original Switch. A bit like Grand Bazaar, this is a return to form for the series. While more of a side game, it fixes most of the issues people had with Rune Factory 5. This is often considered one of the best games of last year, and it was a roaring success for Marvelous, being one of their best-selling games. It mixes action RPGing with the Story of Seasons farming and life elements, so definitely one for those who like a bit more action in the mix. Again, the Switch 2 physical is a Switch 2 edition, meaning it is playable on the OG Switch, a good option if you plan on buying a Switch 2 console in the future. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion, the price for this one has dropped to $50 as well, which is a $20 price cut. This is for Switch 2, PlayStation 5 and Xbox, and even the collector's edition has dropped to just above $90 for each console. It is worth noting that Titanic Scion is the only true Switch 2 cartridge. This one is not playable on the original Switch, and so its discount is even more significant. The game itself is a mech action game that was a bit too expensive at launch, especially for what you get. It reminds me a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles X, just different kind of combat, which is an appealing prospect, and having a $20 price cut makes it even more appealing. If you want to order any of these, you can do so via the links below. Any purchase made helps support me and the channel in the best way possible. Now, I could totally be wrong on this. Maybe they are just lowering the price as a natural thing, but if I was a publisher and I had previously put out a game on an unnecessary chunky and expensive cartridge, I would definitely want to switch over to a smaller, cheaper one if and when they became available. I would save money, and the consumer would be more likely to actually buy the damn things if I sold them for a bit cheaper as well. I don't know. Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, cheaper games are always a nice treat. Have you played any of them? Which ones did you like, and which ones are you happy to recommend to people? Let people know, and have a fantastic day. Take care.